Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the score was 114 to 103. The Lakers did drop game one against the Denver Nuggets in the first round. And, we just never recovered from that bad third quarter that we had there, man. It was I believe, 32 to 18 quarter. And we just started turning the ball over. It's really consecutively, probably two or three consecutive turnovers. It kind of just turned the tide, and the Denver Nuggets took over from there. Really never relinquished the lead from there. They ended up staying up by like 15 or 12. Not really. Probably about 10 points or more. A little more than 10 points the rest of the way. Wow. That was the hard watch, man. That was a hard watch because your team was trying to play perfect ball. As usual against the Denver Nuggets, we had a nice, comfortable 10-point lead, and as usual, we ended up giving it back to the Denver Nuggets. That's 9 straight losses to this team. And, it's hard to be positive. It really is. You want to stay positive. You want to believe that this unit can overcome itself. It's just one game, but, this is a tough way to lose it, having it go kind of the same script as all the others. You have a big lead, you give it back, they execute well, you don't. Down the stretch, it's over. With you losing, and I feel frustrated. As I don't want to be angry because we got a lot of series left to play, and the idea is to try to get the split. But the psychological concerns that everybody was saying that you would have going up against the Denver Nuggets and being deflated after one game, is something that we're really feeling, and we're gonna have to overcome as a unit. As an entire fan base. It's just one of those situations where we're not used to being dominated this bad by one franchise, one single team. It's just really, overpowering our team. And the DNA of our squad this year is just not quite strong enough to overcome these type of circumstances. They can beat other teams, but when a team has their number, they kind of wig out. And it showed. I thought Austin Reeves really just wasn't himself tonight. Wasn't very aggressive. He looked defeated before it started. He looked like he's part of the mental problem tonight. Mentally, to go in listening to the noise, believing the noise, and then not being confident and being defeated before the game even started. He looked like he was catering to that with his head. D'Lo, the shooting wasn't there. 1 for 9 from behind the arc, only 3 assists. This is really sad for D'Lo because you want to see him play well. We remember how he was playing near the trade deadline. You don't want to overreact to missed shots. Either shots are going to fall or they're not. And there's a lot of series left, but this is just the worst way for him to have started the series. It's the worst way psychologically. Savvy basketball fans know ball is either going to fall or it's not. But the turnovers that he had were bad. The 3 just simply did not fall. He missed layups tonight. 6 of 20 from the field. When he plays well, we win. When he doesn't play well, we lose. If he would have given us some really strong D'Lo numbers tonight, we win the game. That's really what it comes down to. And because he was bad, per usual, we lose the game. It doesn't all rely upon him. I mean, it's not all on him. But to be honest with you, his production is what is needed for us to be better than what we are. And that's just why I think a lot of people want us to get Trae Young, why people want us to get Donovan Mitchell, because if we had that reliable piece, we would be winning these games. It's not all on D'Lo, but D'Lo playing his best gives us enough. Him playing his worst leaves us without enough. And that's just how this thing is set up. And it's rough, man, because he really does live and die with whether shots are going to fall or not. And he's going to take shots. And they're not going to fall or they are. And that's just That's the really tough part about having D'Lo on your team. You don't want to have that much relying upon his production. You want him to be your fifth guy, so that when he has nights like this, it wasn't what otherwise put you in a hole. Um, Rui Hachimura should have. I've been saying this every game for about 10 games in a row. I want y'all to check all my videos if you care to. And I promise you, I've said these words. Rui Hachimura did not attempt enough shots. I don't know what the hell's wrong with Darvin Ham, but this is a Darvin Ham thing, in my opinion. Every single night we have Rui Hachimura shooting 50%, and he only attempts like 4 shots, 6 shots, 4 shots. If you have a guy that barely misses, why the hell aren't you feeding him? How does Taurean Prince have more shots attempts than Rui Hachimura? And Rui's out there for 32 minutes and y'all can't get him more than 4 shots and he's hitting half of them. I mean, I just know better than to not blame Coach Ham for that. That's a Ham thing, dude. If you got a guy that can hit 50% every damn night, would it not behoove you to feature him more in the offense, bro? Every single game we say this. Every single game we've been saying this for now 2 years. It's the same problem we had last year in the playoffs. He'd come off the bench, shoot at a very high percentage, and only attempt but so many shots. No other coach would watch a guy shoot 50% or more every single night and only have him attempting the 5th or 6th most shots on the team every single night. No other coach would do that, man. I don't understand it, but it frustrates me. And another thing that frustrated me tonight was Taurean Prince. I thought Taurean played well, but the same problem we've had all year long with Taurean is the same problem we had tonight. You got to utilize him properly, bro. If it's already been understood by everybody who talks about this team that Taurean Prince is a player where when you have him on the floor, you're a significantly worse basketball club, then wouldn't it behoove you after failing so much with this player all season long to at the very least not put him on the floor for the final 5 minutes of the basketball game? Like, if I fail with something all year long and the numbers show me that I'm horrible with this player and great without him, why in my mind would I rely upon him down the stretch of a playoff game? Like, I'll never understand Taurean Prince's usage on this roster, man. He wasn't bad tonight. I thought he attacked the basket pretty well. He had a couple turnovers, but who didn't? You know what I mean? It was that kind of night. I thought he played particularly well in certain parts of the game. But if I'm a significantly worse team with him in the numbers, why do I trust that playing him when it matters most is what I should do? I don't understand that, man. I really don't understand that. Like, Darvin Ham really would, like, with the fate of the universe on the line, would really take Taurean Prince. And it just doesn't work. It's never worked for him. It doesn't make any sense, bro. And when the playoffs are on the line, I don't want to rely upon something that has failed me for 82 games, pretty much. I mean, it ain't deeper than that, y'all. The stats tell you the story. I really found myself scratching my head with that one. Like I said, I thought Taurean played pretty well. I thought he was hard on the glass, as I've been pointing out I wanted him to be. I thought they did a good job of respecting his 3-point shooting ability and closed out to him tighter than any team I've seen all year long. He wasn't able to get off his threes tonight. And I thought Denver played especially well defensively just as a whole. I really do think they played championships defense tonight. I really do. Demoralized the hell out of this basketball club that I felt just was wigging out at the sheer notion of facing them, really. They looked scared to me. They did. The Lakers looked terrified. And that's my problem with this collective mind, this unit that is in our uniform this year. They're not particularly brave. You know what I mean? Like, situations like this, you're getting mad. If you're a killer, you're getting mad. are getting beaten by the same damn club. You know the way they've been beating you. You know what you have to do. But us, it's like, what are we going to do? It's like in the third quarter, they just started wigging out. Turn the ball over a couple times, and all of a sudden they can't get a good shot. Now they're shooting all kinds of bad threes. Anthony Davis' three-point shooting selection, even though he was efficient in the first half and we couldn't do it without him and LeBron's efficiency, both of those guys just kind of disappeared in the second half in their own respective ways. D'Lo wasn't anywhere to be found, so I needed Bron to continue playing the same way in the first half all the way through the fourth quarter. Bron attempted like one shot in the fourth quarter. AD attempted like 4 threes in the fourth quarter. I don't need AD three-point shooting. That's not going to get me no damn where. He ain't been a good three-point shooter since he's been on this team, man. And we want to decide to have him turn into Steph Curry down the stretch of the game of a playoff game against a team we ain't beat at all? Like, what kind of play calling were we doing out there in the fourth quarter, man? Just the shot selection from the third quarter and the fourth quarter was just like the great antithesis to the first half. We had it all going in the first half. Attacking the rim, AD catching it on the block, turn around, score over Jokic. I mean, we were doing all types of stuff that was working, and we had 2 turnovers. 2 bad turnovers that turned into transition buckets for the Nuggets, and we just deflated. We just completely wigged all the way out. The team just stopped believing. They started thinking about what they were doing wrong instead of what they're supposed to be doing right, and proceeded to just turn into the Nuggets' child. Like, they really did. It was really sad, man. And rather rough on the eyes for Laker fans, man. I want to say the word embarrassing. I really do. And it frustrates me to lose the game in this way, but it frustrates me to think that the team was defeated before the game even ended. And look, the margin of error against the Denver Nuggets is slim to none. They are a fantastic basketball team. That's why they won the NBA championship last year. But a lot of what went wrong was not what they did. It was us believing in the mystique of what they are and then proceeding to wig out and be all jitterbug, more or less, against them. And as a result, they were able to lay the ball up. I liken it to certain situations like it reminded me of this. When LeBron James is playing defense and a guy's driving at him and misses a layup, because of the mystique of LeBron James scares the hell out of him. He gonna make that layup on anybody else. If it's a scrub under there, he's dunking the ball. But because it's Bron, he misses the layup. We've seen it time and time again. That's what our team did tonight against the Nuggets. It was the glorified entire basketball game of that right there. It's just us believing in the mystique of the Nuggets, thinking about the fact that we can't beat this team, and then proceeding to do things that show us not beating that team. Instead of playing loose, playing with confidence, and understanding we had a lead against this team in every single game we've played against them, which means that we have our opportunities and we can capitalize on those. But throughout the course of a basketball game, the mental edge is what ultimately gives them the lead. It's their mystique. It's the mental domination that they have over these individuals. They own their minds. And it shows on the basketball floor every time we play them. And they don't have to do more than what they're capable of doing, because there's never a threat going up against them, because the team that's going up against them doesn't believe they can beat them. And we've seen that now for 9 straight basketball games. That's the God's honest truth. I thought D'Angelo Russell played with no confidence tonight. I thought Austin Reeves played with no confidence tonight. I thought Darvin Ham coached with no confidence tonight. He didn't call no timeouts to stop the bleeding. He kept rotations on the floor that only partially gave him success after that run problem took place. After we had them turnovers, that pivotal moment in the game, he stopped believing. And the team followed suit, man. I just thought, LeBron James was kind of in his own head tonight, because he should have been more aggressive scoring the basketball. He should have been driving the basketball more, but instead it was almost like he was conscious of what needed to happen but wasn't actually executing properly. It felt like You know, and I know Bron does this. I know he has this issue. He can get it deep in his head. We know that. That problem reared its ugly head at its worst back when he played the Dallas Mavericks that year. You know what I mean? Where it just became a situation where he was overthinking and underperforming, and couldn't, get out of that shell shock mentality. Sometimes people with the greatest brains have the hardest time with that. You know what I mean? And I think LeBron James, low key, really has that problem. And tonight, I thought he was some variation of that was what was going on tonight with him. Not attempting no shots in the fourth quarter. I just, team has to loosen up, understand they're not going up against God. You know what I mean? The Denver Nuggets are not immortal. Jokic is not somebody that can't lose a basketball game. Wemby beat him just a couple games ago. But it's the belief that you are supposed to be dominated by a team. It's the mental domination that Mike Malone has over this unit. And the collective overwhelming defeat that this team has before the game even starts is what we witnessed tonight. We really witnessed that. KCP, you let him get off in the third quarter, hitting 3 after 3, hit like 4 threes. The team didn't overcome that. They just literally did not overcome that. And so that's my thing, man. It's just a confidence thing for me. I know you have to play perfect ball, but you have to also be confident enough to play your best ball. If you come in peeing your pants, and this is what we've been talking about in a lot of the different conversations we've had leading up to the start of this series. If you come in ready to cower or ready to hang your head and your body language upon good things that the Denver Nuggets do, then you're not going to have that ability to respond when it's necessary that you do. And that is just, it epitomizes everything that's wrong with the Lakers, is what we saw tonight. Everything that's wrong with them. They play good for one half. A few bad turnovers. Self-consciousness takes over. Self-doubt takes over. The Denver Nuggets take over. And that's kind of what the game was about tonight. Just another one of those copy and paste versions of what always happens to the Lakers when they play this team, man. Yet another one in the bag. Same old, same old. And I'd imagine 3 more of these and we'll be out of our misery, man. Because it happened again. And so that's really what it is, man. I don't know. You want so bad to believe in a team, but they are who they are, man. They are who they are. And unless they find a way to overcome themselves and their own fear of this basketball team and their own belief that they are, in fact, our daddy, then they're going to continue to be that. That's what it is, It's hard to believe, like I speak for myself, but it's hard to absorb the fact that your team is just not good as another team. And that team can disrespect your team and then proceed to beat your team into submission. That's hard for me because I grew up a Laker fan of 30 years and I've never had this problem. You know what I mean? 20 years of Kobe Bryant, Kobe didn't have this problem. This was never part of his DNA. We would lose, but it would never be us getting beaten to submission. He was always mentally tough enough and ferocious enough of a spirit to attack these type of dominant forces. So when you go up against Tim Duncan, Timmy would have hell to pay and sometimes would lose against this man. You know what I mean? And I don't think Jokic is that much better than Tim Duncan. I really don't. They're pretty much the same type of beast in my mind. They really are. People then forgot about how dominant Timmy was, but Timmy and Jokic are like pretty much right there with each other in my mind. And you need a Kobe type confidence to match the excellence of that type of player. And we don't have that. Not like it's not there. When you going up against something that you know can defeat you, the type of talent that we have on our team is talented, but it needs the mental edge over that team in order to defeat it. If they don't have that mental edge over that team, then that mental edge is over them and they're defeated. And that's the DNA of this club, man. And that's kind of what I see there. It's either you have the mental edge or you're getting defeated. And that wasn't the spirit of Kobe Bryant. If he didn't have the mental edge, then he was going head to head with the most ferocious minds. You know what I mean? I only saw him get outdueled one time, and that was Gilbert Arenas in a random regular season game. You know what I mean? Other than that, if Kobe was in his mode, he was going to go against you. It didn't matter if you had the mental edge. You were never going to have the mental edge. His confidence and his fire wasn't going to be extinguished by any soul ever. And I've been extremely spoiled by that. And then to have Shaq attached to it, like, I don't know this energy. This right here, I don't know what the hell this is. I don't like it. It's irritating. I'm offended by it because it's food. You feel me? Like, it's literal food. This is the type of team that we used to stomp over all the time. You run into teams like this, and you just kick their ass. Straight up. And now I have this type of team wearing my uniform, and I'm trying to believe in them, and I got to be careful about what I say. The reality is they're food, bro. It ain't good enough. And that's what it is, man. I think this team ain't good enough, man. And I want to keep fighting for them. Obviously, you want to get the split in Denver. Hopefully, they come back down and do something. But, the true colors of who we are has always been seen. This is why so many fans wanted to avoid Denver. This is why so many people were saying, let's kick the Pelican game down the road. Because they knew what I know. And you run into this Denver team, and they just have the mental edge over you, and they're going to stomp you out the same damn way they always do. 9 times in a row ain't no fluke. It ain't no fluke, man. And when Mike Malone said he the Laker daddy, unfortunately, everything about this situation makes it so. And as a Laker fan, I'm offended by that heavily. Not only that he can say it, but that it can be true. We're getting punked out here, man. We're getting slapped around. We really are, Laker fans. We're getting slapped around, and it's demoralizing. It's beneath us as champions 17 times over. And if this series continues the way it is, we're gonna lose the series, and then we're gonna have to really consider if this is good enough to keep going with. Because the overall mental makeup of this team is either we have that mental edge over somebody else, or we're getting punked by the team that has it over us, and that ain't ever gonna represent purple and gold properly, man. Never. I can promise you that. And so that's what I'm saying to y'all, man. I'm unhappy. I've been unhappy all season long. I know it's just one game. We got a long series ahead. Salute the Kobe minute. Got to try to get the split. Got to try to lick your wounds. I know my conversation here did not help with that. But I just see a series starting off in the absolute way everybody was fearful it would, man. And I don't know that this team is wired to overcome this type of adversity, man. I don't have any evidence that they are. And boy, is that unfortunate as a fan. Extremely unfortunate. If I have to give the game ball to somebody, I'm obviously going to give it to the Joker with 30 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. You know, I just... I really thought Jamal Murray was fantastic out there. Aaron Gordon made us pay, even though he didn't hit his three ball that much. He still made us pay quite a bit. Porter had 19 strong points. They really dominated the basketball team, man. Even though we had a 10-point lead in the first half, you never actually felt like you were going to win the game because you knew what the script is for these two teams. The Lakers have a big old lead in the first half when it doesn't matter. But by the end of the game, they're going to have a deficit when it does matter. And that is how every single one of these games have gone, man. Nothing's changed. The Nuggets are the Laker daddy, and we got 3 more games to try to overcome that mental edge, man. And if we don't, then we will be out of here in the first round. And that hopefully the Celtics don't win the championship. That's the reality of our situation. So that's what it is, man. I want Kobe back. Ladies and gentlemen, if I'm being completely honest, I really miss Kobe, man. Because he would find a way, if not to beat this team, to gain our respect, bro. Just gain our respect is all I ask of this unit. And they can't do it. They just ain't capable of pulling that off. And confidence is important, man. If you don't have confidence, you're gonna get slapped around by a team that has it, man. And that's it. That's all there is to it. I just didn't think that the collective mind of this team was very strong tonight. I thought we were very fearful. And I thought it yielded the results that come with that type of mentality against a team like this. It doesn't work. You got to rebound the ball. I thought we got 8 up on the glass. We didn't leave ourselves enough size in key moments. I thought we leaned on the wrong players at time. I thought we were doing the wrong things. I thought the third quarter shot selection was terrible. We shot a lot of 3-point shots with players that shoot low percentages. I thought guys that shoot high percentages didn't get looks. I thought guys that we thought would disappear, disappeared. I just thought this team played right into the reputation it has. You know, Austin Reeves disappeared. D-Lo played bad in the playoffs. I mean, you know, I don't know what to tell you, man. They are who they are, man. And you know, some people just really get slapped around. I hate to put it like that, bro. But there are people out there in this world who are just not going to be very strong. And you want them to find their confidence. You shake them. You tell them to shoot the ball. And they just not going to shoot it. You know what I mean? Literally. You want them to have the confidence. Believe in yourself. And they just, nah, bro. They going to get kicked around. And when you have to have them represent you and your team, and that's the spirit that they show when putting on your colors, you want to back them, but you really don't know how to. If you're me, that's how I feel. I don't know how to best support a team like this. I don't know how to motivate in these situations. I know how to call it like it is and be frustrated. That's what I know how to do. And that's not the greatest trait, nor is getting kicked around, man. We all gotta grow, man. This is what it is, Laker fans. I hope y'all better than me, but I'm having a hard time with this loss here. I really am. I'm having a hard time with this particular loss. So yeah, that's just one game. We still got 3 more to try to redeem ourselves, and if we can extend this series, we'll feel great. If we can overcome and gain our strength and our confidence and our respect, that would be wonderful. That's what I hope this team can do. But the overall psychological way of losing this game was exactly as bad as guys like Trevor Lane and others said it would be. You lose this game in a certain way, and you really feel like you can't win the series. And I think that's what we're going to have to fight through over the next several days. And so that's what it is, man. I didn't think this was any good tonight. I thought AD and Braun were good in the first half, but in the second half, I thought they let it unravel, man. They let it unravel. And the rest of the team just did not do enough in various different ways. And I think D-Lo's going to get a lot of the blame tonight. And rightfully so, bro. He has to find ways of helping his team. Usually he gives us 10 assists if he shoots this poorly, but against this team tonight, 3 assists, but 4 boards or something like that. That's not going to be any good. D'Angelo Russell, that's not going to be any good, bro. Austin, not enough. Rui, not enough. Torian on the floor, too much. Gabe, getting 3 fouls in 5 minutes. Just can't happen against this basketball club, man. I didn't see enough Jackson Hayes down there. You probably should have been on the floor more. I needed the rebounding of a guy like Max Christie, but our coach doesn't believe in Max Christie, so you don't see the good that Max can do in a series like this. Which is a real problem for me, man, because I know Max is a fantastic rebounder, and this is a series where crashing the glass is so important since we have such bad disadvantages with Porter, Gordon, and Jokic rebounding the ball. When they're on the floor together, they really do kill the Lakers on the glass and in other areas as well. And I thought that the majority of what went right was done with Gordon sitting down, and when he came back in the game, it was almost like order was restored. And I think that's a big part of what went wrong tonight as well. We have a big brick wall in front of us when those three are on the floor together. Matchup wise, it's almost impossible for this unit to overcome it. And I think a big part of that is because our coach refuses to go to the guards that can best rebound the ball. You know, you need extra rebounders on the floor to help our front court guys who have a defensive, a size disadvantage, rather, a size mismatch in front of them that they're on the wrong side of. So if you have a more rebounding-minded shooting guard on the floor, on top of the fact that you have Rui, Braun, and AD on the floor, you're likely to have a better shot at turning those easy rebounds for the Nuggets into 50-50 balls that maybe you can capture. But if you're not going to see that as something to use, then you're never going to have that advantage on the floor. So I think Max Christie is missed out there. And if we would have used him all year and developed him properly, I think that would be where you'd help us the most in this series. He boards well. Austin tends to at times, but not against this team. D'Lo tends to at times, but not against this team. Torian's not a particularly good rebounder, although I thought he crashed the glass tonight. But when those are the guys down there trying to assist against Porter, Gordon, and Jokic, you don't have enough rebounding, man. You just don't. So, I mean, if we're going to get swept or if we lose in 5, it's going to be because we didn't figure that out. It's going to be because our coach did not wisen up and get the rebounding specialist on the floor. So that needed to be said, man. Not playing Max Christie is probably one of the most egregious things this coach has done all season, in my opinion. Because Max especially has the skill set to kind of attack some of the weaknesses that we often leave ourselves with. So, that is how Game 1 went, man. It's kudos to the Denver Nuggets for only turning the ball over 5 times in this game. I thought that was really special. They're the defending champions for the reason, and if they get past us, I'm pretty damn certain they're going to continue to be that, man. Because I don't think any team in this league is better than them right now. And I think most people agree at this point. So, that's just what it is, man. I think we have the talent to compete with this team, but the mentality to get smacked around by them just the same. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.